What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. So after one of the most frustrating weekends ever, this week has actually turned out really good. We have a big announcement from the CDC about the North American Championship that I'm going to talk about, and also just some really big things just for me personally as a darts player, as well as just kind of throwing some of the best darts because I've been stuck at home this whole week and nothing better to do but to throw darts. So I also want to talk about that for a second. But first, guys, if you're new and looking to get better at darts, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop this video a thumbs up, and check out that darts improvement playlist. Also, go head over to bullshotdarts.com where you can go pick up some Bullshot apparel. So I'm going to try to make a very long story short just to cover what happened this last weekend, but I get tested at work for the you-know-what. So I'm going to try to make this as easy, long story short, and not as confusing. But Thursday I took a rapid test and a PCR test. PCR test is a lab test that takes a couple days to get the results. My rapid test was positive, so I get home Thursday, super upset because now I got to cancel the Grand Rapids tournament I was looking forward to. So I was just super upset that I was missing that, but you know what? I tested positive, so you know what? I'm stuck at home, whatever. Friday, I take another rapid test just to double check, and that came back positive. Saturday morning rolls around, I get my results from the PCR, and it says negative. So now I'm super mad because now I'm missing out on this Grand Rapids tournament over a false positive test that I took because these results said negative. So I'm like, okay, now I'm like super mad because I'm missing it over something that I don't even have. But there's a couple blind draws tonight, so I'm going to plan to go to those. Well, for some reason, and I'm glad I did, but I looked at the results again later that day, and I noticed that the dates were off on it. The dates were from the previous week. So now I'm wondering, did these people even send me the right results? So I take another rapid test, and it came back positive. So now here I am again. Okay, I'm going to, go shoot darts tonight, but then that whole situation happened. It's like, well, I tested positive again. I can't go out and throw darts. So I call these people, I tell them the situation. They're like, we'll get this figured out. We'll send you more results tomorrow. They sent me 2 sets of results on Sunday, and none of the times matched up on any of these results things. So these people sent me the wrong results 3 different times. So I was super skeptical about this. So I went and got my own test on Sunday. It came back positive. So there's the long story short. I've been at home this whole week now, so that's where we are. So let's get into some of this good news that we have here. Well, first, I just want to talk about the fact that I have been stuck at home this whole week. So I have been throwing a lot of darts, and I'm just super excited because I feel like my darts are flying better than ever right now. I think I threw for at least 3 hours yesterday. I finished with over an 80 average over, I think 7 or 8 best of 5 sets. So I averaged over an 80 on that. And then I played a best of 5 cricket where I averaged over a 4. So just being able to practice so much is just kind of going over that repetition and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about where my darts are right now. And now it's just a matter of, when I do go back to work, obviously I'm going to be missing a lot of this extra free time that I have, but I need to remember how good I'm throwing now and use that as motivation to throw more when life does get back to normal for me. So that's what I'm going to do moving forward. Another exciting thing I have for myself is that I actually just booked my trip down to Osage Beach, I think it is, down in Missouri for the St. Patty's Day Open. I just found out about it yesterday. This is a tournament I wanted to go to, but just completely spaced and forgot it was even a thing. And for $70 a night for the hotel, the second I saw it yesterday, I was like, all right, I'm booking this. And yeah, so I'm super excited to go to that because that's going to be another tournament now before going to Virginia Beach. And that was an important thing I was looking forward to for Grand Rapids, is just to get another tournament under my belt, just getting that practice before heading out to, on that 180, Virginia Beach, especially in cricket, because there is a big cricket event in Virginia Beach. So I just want to make sure that I'm prepared for that. So yeah, super excited to go down to Missouri for that. So if anyone, watching from Missouri is there, I look forward to seeing you guys. Now I'm completely losing my train of thought. I just kind of went in a different direction there. But yeah, my darts are feeling good, so I'm just looking forward to going to this tournament now and just maintaining this. So let's get into the North American Championship news. This is something that all dart players have been waiting for a long time, and we finally got some direction on where we're going here. The qualifiers are going to be on May 13th, and it's going to be attached to a CDC weekend. Now, we already have Jeff Smith, Matt Campbell, Jules Van Dongen, and Danny Baggish, so they're already in the North American Championship and the U.S. Masters tournament, whereas before, the 8 players always came through the qualifiers, but since they got their tour cards, they get to go right to the right to the big stage, which makes plenty of sense. So there's room for 4 qualifiers to come in, and those qualifiers, like I said, will be May 13th attached to the CDC weekend. Now, I think this is great. I'm so excited for it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it is in Chicago, so I don't have to worry about traveling and taking off work for this or anything. But we'll know the locations. I think they said by the end of this week. They just made an announcement that they have all the venues secured. It's just a matter of, just announcing it now. But the thing is, the qualifiers before was basically open to everyone that showed up to the weekend, because it was always on-site qualifiers for that weekend. Now, what's interesting about what's happening now is that the CDC does not have on-site qualifiers for the CDC main events. So if someone wants to come to these qualifiers and they're not a CDC tour card holder, they're literally only showing up for those qualifiers on Friday, which, I kind of feel bad for people that aren't tour card holders, because as a tour card holder, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to show up, play those qualifiers, and play in the main events the whole weekend. But since they don't have the on-site qualifiers for the CDC weekend, if you show up to that, it's only going to be for the North American Championship qualifiers. So you don't get that extra bang for your buck to be able to play or possibly play in the CDC main event. So I'm really interested to see how many people show up to that. Obviously, a lot of the biggest dart players that I would expect to get those North American qualifiers are tour card holders and will be there. But there's still, a lot of dart players out there that would like to qualify for these things, or at least play in them to get that experience. And just, if you don't have your tour card, it's like, is it really worth the trip, the hotel and all that stuff. So just kind of interesting, but I'm just so excited about it because I just hope that these darts that I've been throwing, go through until May. And I feel like the CDC weekends have usually been in Chicago in May in the prior years. Back when it was here. It hasn't been here for a couple of years now. But so I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that it's in Chicago, because it would be so cool to just, have a CDC weekend in Chicago again and not have to worry about traveling for at least one of the weekends, but also kind of having that home field advantage or home bar advantage for the qualifiers. So yeah, really big news, excited. I'm really curious to see who's going to come through the qualifiers. I'm really hoping Jacob Taylor comes down for it. I don't know what the situation is at the US and Canada border, so I don't know how easy, or if there is going to be able for the Canadians to come down, or how that's going to work. Or, I don't think they would do it, but maybe the North American qualifiers that weekend will be in Canada, and then it'll have to be us US players to go up there. So I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. I just hope it's in Chicago, but we'll see. But I would love it if Jacob Taylor got there, because I think that, if he continues doing what he's doing and traveling for darts, that he will be a huge name on the worldwide scale. Leonard Gates, of course, is going to be a big threat as always. Darin Young will show up there, and just an exciting time for darts, because these are things that we've been missing out on for, 2 years now, and it's finally getting back up to, it's not what it used to be yet, but we're getting back there. We're moving in that direction. So it's just so exciting to have these things to look forward to. and just so much motivation to hit that practice board and get in as much throwing as possible. All right, guys, one more thing I'm going to talk about here. I'm rambling a lot in this one, but Virginia Beach is coming up at the end of March. I've talked about how excited I am for this tournament. I cannot wait. And I just got some really big news yesterday that I'm really excited about, and that is that I am a seeded player going into this cricket event. I had no idea that it was a seeded event. I thought it was just one of those things that everyone plays the qualifiers, and whoever makes it, you know, that's the tournament. I guess that's on me for not reading in detail all the information about the event, but so yeah, I'm a seeded player now, so I don't have to worry about playing those qualifiers. Now this is huge because, well, I don't have to play the qualifiers. I am confident that I would have qualified because they're bringing a lot of qualifiers through, so I'm very confident that I would have qualified, but still, now that I know I don't have to worry about it, it's just a lot of stress relief. And also, it just opens up that whole day of Thursday for me because, you know, my girlfriend and I are getting there Wednesday. And the only reason we were going to get there Wednesday is so I could play the qualifiers on Thursday. But now we're going to get there Wednesday, and I don't have any darts on Thursday. So that gives me a whole day to relax in Virginia Beach in an environment that I've never shot darts in. So I still plan on going to the dart hall on Thursday and getting in, you know, a couple hours of practice just to get comfortable in there. But it's so nice not having to worry about those qualifiers now, and that I'm just pushed into the event. And once again, I had no idea there was a seeded thing, but even if I knew, I would have never expected for me to be seeded because, I don't know, like I didn't even know where the seeds came from. I guess it came from the ADO, so that made me go look at the ADO standings, and apparently I have 42 ADO points. So I didn't even think about that because it's just been so long since I've played ADO tournaments or anything. So it's been so long since I've even thought about, you know, like ranking points for the ADO and stuff. So that got me super excited because, you know, I want to play more ADO tournaments. So now that I know that, I'm going to make it a point to try to get out to more. So that's another reason I'm excited about Missouri, is because that's another ADO tournament. So hopefully I can rack up more ADO points there. But the singles 501 there is also a WDF event, so I'm super excited about that because I want to start getting points for that list. And I just found out of a tournament in Ohio in a couple months that's ADO, so I'm going to start looking into that as well because, like I said, we're finally getting back to, you know, normalcy here. So I want to get out and play as many darts tournaments as I can. All right, guys. That's it for this one. So stupid weekend, but it's kind of turned out for, I'm not gonna say turn out for the better because I'm still upset I missed the Grand Rapids tournament, but you know, with these announcements and being able to practice and stuff, I just feel like I'm in a very good headspace moving forward. You know, all this time away from, you know, the outside world and just having myself to worry about, it's just helped a lot. So I'm just super excited about that. We're gonna get in one more round here, guys, and we're gonna end up this video, or wrap up this video. When I was playing yesterday against the Dart Connect, I had 142 finish I was excited about. I think a 105. I had at least like 5 ton plus finishes, so I've just been really excited about my darts. Anyway, guys, you're sick of hearing me talk. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, bullshotdarts.com if you want some Bullshot apparel. Hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up button. Check out the playlist down there. Click one of the videos that popped up over here. I'll see you all in the next one, and shoot well.